a specific workflow, and coaching can get you there faster. Yes, coaching, having somebody else's viewpoint. And I want to give you a few examples on this. The only way to stand out is to have a photo with a strong story that will have your voice. We're going to talk about that a lot. How do you find your style? Like, whenever I go on Instagram and I see my feed, when there's a famous photographer, I can often tell who it is. Eric Almas, Scott Kelby, Ansel Adams, Nick Brandt, many photographers that I follow. I can see right away, Torsten Overgaard, right away who it is, even without looking at the name. Why? Because they have a voice. It's very important to have a voice. We're going to talk about that today. Okay, let me tell you my story. When I was a teenager, I really I spent a lot of time actually distributing flyers. I was doing a lot of flyers in mailbox, and I remember it was the year Michael Jackson Thriller album came out. It came out in 84, but I bought it in 85. No, it was bad for Michael Jackson. So I used to listen to Michael Jackson, and I used to make thousands, 10,000 of flyers all over the world. I used to get paid as a teenager to make flyers, and I've always wanted to be an artist. Why? Because between the age of 14 and 17, I saw the 3 movies which totally changed my life. First, The Return of the Jedi, then Back to the Future, and then Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. These movies had such an impact on my life because not only they were good movies, they were uplifting. Everybody was talking about it, but I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to be an actor or a director. I want to be a photographer. I want to do something artistic with my life. And but I was convinced that while I was doing the flyers, that I was never going to be able to do it, that I was not an artist, that I was not a good artist, that I was not handsome enough to be an actor. I was not talented enough to be a photographer. I even despised people that said they wanted to be an artist. I don't know why. I was convinced I was not an artist, but this movie really blew me away. So what I did after doing many jobs, including a bit of coding, my brother in 1996, he created a web agency called 1001 Web Promotion, selling websites for hotels. And right away, I started working for him, first of all in the south of France, and then in Paris. And what he was doing, this was a revolution because nobody had website back then. He did a survey on who wanted to have websites between lawyers and schools. I forgot who. There was a lot of different jobs, and hotels were the one who massively answered. So he decided he was going to do website for hotels, which was a very smart move from his end. And so I started working for him, and right away the hotels, they wanted photos. They wanted photos of their hotels, and they wanted photos of Paris because they wanted to sell Paris to the world. So that was the first time I became aware of photography, is because they wanted, photography of Paris. And, the thing is, by then I had 4 kids. Me and my wife, we need to get at least 10,000 euros per month just to survive. So I was selling a lot for my brother. I was doing really well. Money started to be really cool. We started making great money. And, I became the vice president for sales of the company. And then I did a few acting lessons. I remember I went to some acting schools, and I didn't like it at all because I remember I loved the training that the girl was doing, but she was, not very inspiring because she was a failed artist herself. And then with some friends at work, I started trying to make short movies. And I remember I did like a whole short movie where I was playing the lead actor, like as a real estate agent. And one of my friends was playing the customer, and we rented somebody else's house. And it was so much work to try to get a short movie, and it was bad. My purpose of becoming an artist was coming back to life. Like now that I had money worked out and I was making good money and I could provide for my family, this whole artistic endeavor, I'm now 34, 35 years old. It's coming back to me, and I'm failing at it big time so I was making great money, no problem, but I was not super happy. I felt that I was going to be a salesman, and there's nothing wrong with being a salesman. I'm a salesman even today, but I wanted to do something artistic with my life. I didn't want to reach the age of 70 or 80 and, didn't create any legacy of art that I could leave to my children, that I could share with the world. I really wanted to create like a dent in the world of art. And whatever it was, photography or filmmaking or acting, I wanted to do something. And in 2005, there was a revelation. I went to the Guadeloupe. I told that story. This is a story I've said many times. I'm going to recap it really fast, but I was with a bunch of friends in the Caribbean island, and I shot this photo, and a buddy of mine said, "Have you ever heard about Photoshop?" I said, "Yeah, I heard the name on movies. I don't really know what it is." And he showed me Photoshop, and he erased the tourist that you see behind her, and then he made her like as a magazine cover. And this was a revelation, because at the time I was like, hotels were requesting more and more Paris photos, and I wanted to do something artistic, and I realized that with Photoshop and Paris, I could take some photos. So I went back and I studied. I remember I went into a library and bought all the books I could figure out about photography. I had never taken a camera in my life. I didn't know what it was. So I bought the Canon EOS 350D, which was the entry price of Canon. And I bought a Manfrotto tripod that was so heavy, you wouldn't believe. Anyway, and it took me quite a while to figure out how to get sharp photos. I almost gave up a few times. I actually did give up, get it back, gave up. And this is the first photo shoot that I did. I was really happy with. I shot they're awful photos. I always show them, but I was so blown away by these photos originally. I was like, oh my gosh, it's really, really good. And I was like, yeah, it's really cool, Paris by night and all that stuff. And then the next day I went back to my brother's agency, and we had there was a guy there who was named Michel. He was a very, very famous photographer. And I remember because he just shot a beautiful photo of the Champs-Élysées for one of our talent. I was haunted by this photo. So I went to see him and I showed him this work. And I was so happy. He said, like, "Hey, look, Michel, I took Paris by night. It's amazing. Look, it's very sharp and everything." And he looked at the photo and he said, "Yeah, but there's no sky, there's nothing blue, like it's all very contrasty and dark." And then he starts showing me photos from like Morocco that he just shot from Riyadh in Morocco, beautiful blue hour, golden hour. And he was like, but I said, "Yeah, but look, the sunset was like maybe 5 minutes. I stayed for 8 hours shooting." And I remember he looked at me and he started laughing and he said, "Serge, welcome to the world of photography." And I realized, okay, it's all about getting the right light. And so this is my first golden hour, really bad. This is my first sunset, really bad. I realized that I knew nothing. So back in 2006, 2007, you guys probably remember this, I started following Matt Wiskowski, Scott Kelby, and I forgot the Canadian guy, Cross, Mr. Cross, Dave Cross. And Dave Cross, they had this show called the Photoshop Guys. And I remember I bought an iMac, and I used to put the iMac in my room. And we used to, I remember there was the year where there was this TV show called 24 Hours with Jack Bauer. And I was so passionate about that show that I stopped watching Jack Bauer 24 Hours to watch Scott Kelby, because I got so passionate. And my wife, at first, she didn't like it, but then she got used to it. And she was like, "Yeah, listen to tutorials. It makes me sleep." So every night I used to watch like an hour of tutorial, and it would make my wife fall asleep, and I was blown away. And then I got into this crazy HDR fade that happened in the year 2008, 2009. I followed Trey Ratcliffe, which was a massive HDR. Photomatics came out. And I used to take these HDR photos, and I love them, but people had weird reaction to them. A lot of people, when they see this kind of photo, they were like, "Yeah, it's good, but like you did something to the photo, right? It doesn't look natural at all." And, so I did a whole series like this of HDR. I love the photo, but it didn't get me very far. So by then I was completely hooked. I was totally hooked. I wanted to become a photographer, what I'm doing today. This was really like, there's no question. It's been a few years now. I want to be, I just couldn't think. I remember I was coming home every night. I was telling my wife, like, I got to find a solution to quit my job to become a full-time photographer. And it was an obsession for me, and I wanted to create an emotion impact with my work. I wanted to make books. I wanted to sell my work. I wanted people to see my work. But the problem is that I never believed that I was an artist. I thought I was doomed forever to make a living as a salesman. And that was the only way to survive, is you sell something, you get a commission. And there was no way to exchange anything with art. And to make the matter worse, I really like my photos, but I got a big reject from a big magazine called Réponse Photo. They every month they would take a photographer and make like a full interview and like a 4-page. And I had a friend of mine who made the cover of that magazine. I was so jealous. I wanted to get in there. So it took me 2 months to book a meeting. I remember with the editor-in-chief. I was so excited. And that day of the day he gave me the appointment was the day I was supposed to be a salesman on a big trade show for my brother. But it happens that the newspaper was very close to this trade show. So I remember I like sneaked out of the trade show with my photos in hand, and I went to the magazine and I walked into the editorial room, showed him the photos, And he looked at them and he was like, yeah, but there's nothing. It's, it's HDR, it's over retouch. And like in 2 minutes, he threw me away. And honestly, I was so bummed that I almost gave up. Then the next thing that happened is a friend of mine gave me all he gave me was the name of the CEO of Yellow Corner. Now, if you don't know what Yellow Corner is the biggest art gallery network in the world. At the time, they had 80 galleries around the world. They now have 150. It's the biggest art network in the world, okay? And at the time in Paris, they were in the Louvre. If you would go to the Louvre to see the Mona Lisa, you would go by a Yellow Corner gallery. It's not there anymore, but they have even incredible ones now. They're all over Paris. I mean, there is nothing like Yellow Corner. In the US, you only find them in New Jersey, Chicago. They just opened in next to in California. They just opened one in California for the first time, but they're very big here, all over Italy, Germany, and France. 150. They're opening 22 galleries this year. Anyways, so this guy, it was a famous photographer, just gave me the name of the owner. I called the reception of Yellow Corner, and I got the name of the owner. They gave me his email. I started sending email, and he totally didn't like my style of photography and rejected me. And I was like, I was so bummed out. Now, at the time, I was so eager to become a photographer that I told my wife, okay, let's sell the house to so I can have enough money to become a photographer. And then that didn't work because the market crashed at the time where we decided to sell the house. So that was not an option. And I really felt trapped. And I didn't know what to do, really. And so what we did in 2010 is before I talk about Photoshop World, there's one thing that happened is when I found out that the house was not going to go for sale, I had a crazy idea. I said, what if I sell some of my work to the hotels that I know in Paris? So I went to see a friend of mine who had a hotel. He was renovating 2 hotels. And I said, hey, would you buy like $1,000 a piece? You got 44 rooms, so 44,000 euros. A photo. I'm going to make a nice profit on it, but you can put it into your, it's going to help me become a professional photographer. And this guy loved my work. He says, well, it's a lot of money. I could probably get a better deal, but I really like your photos. Let me think about it. He called me up 2 days after, and he said, look, you know what? I got 2 hotels. Either I do nothing or I do everything. And it's everything. It's 90 rooms. So you know what, Serge? I'm going to give you 90,000 euros so that you can become the artist that you want. And that was right at like 2008, 2009, after the market crashed. Nobody could sell real estate. And I called my wife and I said, I just made 90,000 euros of sales of photography. And at the time, I still got rejected by the gallery, but at least this one guy trusted me. And then a couple of other sales later, I had enough money to quit. So I quit my job. And the first thing that I did was like, okay, well, I got really lucky because I got a few friends who bought a lot of photos from me, but that's not going to last forever. So I thought I got to figure this thing out. So the first thing that I did with my wife, first of all, I resigned from my work. I went to see my brother. I said, Vincent, I'm going to become an artist. Here's blah, blah, blah. Here's Frederick, who's going to replace me. I'm going to go and I'm going to become an artist. And we had just a bit of money like this. And the first thing we did is we went to Las Vegas to Photoshop World because I wanted to get trained. I went there as a student. And we also went to do a lot of photos there. And I love Photoshop World. If you get a chance, I hope they put it back after COVID. It's been off for a couple of years. But the experience in Vegas or Orlando is really nice because you get to meet so many people. And one thing that happened that was kind of unexpected, I was walking around, and you probably have, if you've been to Vegas, you probably had a similar experience. And I discovered the Peter Lik galleries in Vegas. And, I worked in real estate, and I looked at the gallery, and it was right in Mandela Bay, one of the biggest hotels on the Strip. And the rent must be like $20,000 to $40,000 a month. So this guy is definitely selling photos. I was like, who is this Peter Lik? And I spent hours and hours watching his photos. And I was like, oh my God, I love his style because it's very natural. It's very dramatic. And so I was listening to the people that was watching his photos, and they were saying like, oh, what a beautiful mountain, what a beautiful cloud. They were not responding like to my work. People were responding, it's nice, but it's HDR, no, it's over retouch. You did something to it. Their response to his work was, it's natural, which was amazing. Anyways, that's some of Peter Lik works. This was a revelation. So I started Googling, and I find out that was not, that was 2010, but I found out that he sold hundreds of millions of dollars. The legend says now he's just passed $1 billion in fine art sales. I mean, he's the number one fine art sales photographer on the planet. There's no question, no question. I was like, well, there is something to be learned here. So I said, okay, I got to figure out how he makes this photo like that, so natural, but so dramatic, so natural, but so dramatic. Okay, this is when I got the idea of developing the natural drama formula. Okay, now at the time, there was a hotel called Hotel Littré in Paris. They asked me, they said, we want you to do a full black and white photo shoot for us. And I was struggling. It's been years I was doing black and white, and I did not like my black and white. This is some of my black and white photos that I actually sold to the hotel for not very much money. And I was obsessed by this man, Sebastião Salgado. Now, Sebastião Salgado made this book called Genesis. I don't know if you know this, but it's one of the best-selling black and white books on photography in the world. And I had a friend of mine who was a professional photographer, but he was a professional developer. And I said, my black and white are awful. I don't like my black and white. Look, how does Sebastião Salgado does his black and white? How does Ansel Adams? How does Nick Brandt? How does Laurent Baheux? How does all these people make this crazy black and white? And he says, well, it's all in a zone system. I said, what the heck is a zone system? So he started explaining me the zone system. And he starts showing me photos from Magnum, the agency, how they were retouched, like how he was developing, because he's been developing black and white for 20 years. And he was explaining me the concept of dodging and burning that's been around for 100 years, and I had no idea. And he showed me in Photoshop. The whole coaching session lasted 5 minutes. This 5 minutes changed my life. Somebody showed me something that I was doing wrong. I'd been doing black and white for 5 years. Hundreds of photos of black and white. They were not good. In 5 minutes, I don't think this guy realized what he did. He just showed me how to dodge and burn in Photoshop. I don't do it in Photoshop anymore. I do it only in Lightroom. But he showed me how to do it in Photoshop based on his kind of work. And my black and white, because I got coached, that really showed me the idea that the 10,000 hours idea is false. Like, you just need to put in a lot of hours into photography and you're going to eventually get good. No, you need coaching, because this 5 minutes of coaching, I could have gone and do black and white the wrong way for another 4 years, unless somebody came in and says, look, let me show you something. And look at the black and white I started doing after that. Much better black and white. Much better, much stronger black and white. Much closer to my mentors, okay?
And I just wanted to say quickly, Serge, as you were going into that, I think it's so important here because you were taking 5 minutes of a master's time and they completely transformed the way you did photography. And so seeing you and your growth over the years, it's these critical points that I noticed that just getting the right mentoring at the right time made all the difference in the world.
Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. It's funny. I had another story. I don't have the drawing here, but I love to draw. I'm not good at it, but I love to draw. And I was doing a lot of drawing of my daughter. And every time I had the eyes at the wrong place, the nose at the wrong place. And I went on for months drawing her. And I would like literally throw away the drawings. And one day, a professional drawing artist came over my shoulder and says, no, I'll show you a trick. And he showed me a trick using a compass to position the nose and the eyes. And literally all my drawings got like way better. Another story about this, Scott Kelby, you see here, which Scott Kelby is when I came back from the Guadeloupe and I went into a library, I bought like 10 books on photography, and it was only 2 books that were good. One was from Scott Kelby on Photoshop, and the other one was a little book called Photoshop Visual. And I dreamed one day to meet this man, and I actually did in 2010 when I went as a student. He was playing rock and roll in a bar there for all the attendees, and I just got to shake his hand. I'd been watching this man on TV on my iMac for 5 years, and when I met Scott Kelby, it was like meeting Michael Jackson. I mean, for me, he was Michael Jackson. I was remember my whole body was shaking. I was like, I went to see my wife, said I shook hands with Scott Kelby. Anyways, years later, Scott actually mentored me and coached me, and he coached me on how to do dodge and burn in Lightroom. When actually what happened is Adobe just released some of the local tools. That was the early version of Lightroom, and he was testing them for. It was not even out yet, but we started becoming friends. And I'll tell you how I became friends with Scott Kelby later. And he started showing me how I can do in Lightroom what the masters were doing in black and white for colors. And it took him like literally 2 minutes. We had lunch and he said, I'm going to show you something. There's a new version of Lightroom coming out. And he showed me something. And that was like 2 minutes from that mentor changed my life. Scott, I owe so much to Scott Kibbe. It's not even funny. Anyways, when Scott showed me that, this is the kind of color photo I started doing. And I started getting much better, much more natural and much more dramatic. Natural, but dramatic. Natural, but dramatic. And there is two miracles that happen. I told the story many times, but I got to tell you, I have the feeling that when you do the things you want to do in your life, when you follow your path and you really go for something that you really want, things go your way. I mean, so now I'm in 2012. It's been about 2 years since I quit my job. I had a bit of money from my friends' hotels who bought the photos, but the money was running out because also we had some issue with the house. We had to borrow money to do some renovations. We were running out of money, and I was really afraid I had to go back and get a 9-to-5 jobs. Now, the person you see here changed my life forever. It's two people I want to shout out to. One is Alexander Metz, which you see here. So Alexander Metz is the CEO and creator of Yellow Corner, and he was the man I was writing to since 3 years, and he was not answering my emails, or he answered a couple of times, but he was not impressed by me. He kept rejecting me. But now that I had this trick that I learned from the natural drama, a friend of mine called me and said, why don't you send him back your latest work? I've seen your stuff on social media. You really have like a style like Peter Ling. It's really strong now. It's much better. Before it was over retouch. Send it to him. And I was on the phone with a friend telling me that. I took the last email that Alexander Metz wrote to me, and I answered, and I said, hello, sir, here's my latest work, blah, 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 hoping that it would do something. I kid you not, 20 seconds after, the phone rings, and it's a number from Paris, and I tell my buddy, can you imagine? It's Yellow Corner. And says, pick it up. I pick it up, and it's the CEO of Yellow Corner. He says, come in and see me. I went to see him 2 days after, and he says, okay, he was a little cold, to be honest, at first. He says, I'm going to take 2 photos from you, and we'll see what happens. If they sell well, we'll take more. I was like, okay, fine. I knew 2 photos was not going to save my life and that I might need to go back from a 9-to-5 job. But a week after, he calls me up and says, look, I looked at some of your stuff there. I love your new style. It's really strong. It's very natural drama. We love that. You know what? Would you like to make a book about Paris? I have a good friend that works in an editing house called Flammarion. And I can maybe persuade him to make a book of color in Paris. And I said, I would love that. He calls me a week after. He says, I spoke to the guy at Flammarion. They want to make a book with you. I was like, oh my gosh, my life is about to change. But that's not the miracle. Here is the miracle. He books an appointment with the people at Flammarion. And the next day, I get an email from this gentleman. And that's the real miracle, named Hendrik Tenhaus. He passed away, unfortunately. This man, more than anybody, changed my life. He sends me an email, says, I want to make a book about Paris in black and white. But I said, yeah, but I already have a deal for a color book with Flammarion and Yellow Corner. He says, who is Yellow Corner? I explain what Yellow Corner is. He says, they should work with me. I can co-publish with them. And anyways, the whole day, we exchanged 25 emails. And he says, you know what? At the end of the day, he says, I'm going to fly to Paris after tomorrow. I want to meet the owner of Yellow Corner, and I want to convince them to not work with this as a publisher, but to work with me. It's kind of like, and I couldn't hardly pay my mortgage. I was about to lose my house. I was about to get back to 9-to-5. And now there's 2 publishers fighting against me to make a book. Anyways, the meeting happens. He comes, and all he says, I want to do a deal, but I want to make a 2-book deal, and it has to be black and white because black and white is so hot right now. And lucky, I just learned from my friend how to make good black and white because I had no black and white. Anyways, to make a long story short, we made the deal. He left right after the 2 CEOs, because I met the other owner of the Yellow Corner, looked at me and says, who the heck are you? These people flew from Berlin to make a deal with you. It's like, you're trying to sell a house for 2 years. It doesn't go on the market. And the day you find a buyer, somebody else wants to buy it. That's what happened to me. I mean, honestly, if this man would have contacted me a week after, a week before, the effect would have not been the same. Anyhow, we signed a deal for 2 books, Paris and New York in color. This changed my life forever. He gave me a great amount of money to start with. Yellow Corner, when they saw that, they said, we'll take 40 photos from you. And boom, overnight, I got so much from me from the galleries and from the book that I did not need to go back to a 9 to 5 job. And literally the coaching and the mentoring from Scott Kilby, from this other photographer and developer, totally changed my life. Can you imagine just this 2 times 5 minutes? Because I was doing it wrong for so many years. Just somebody looking at my work, looking at what I was doing wrong, what was I doing right, and just helping me change my life. It's the power of coaching and mentoring is huge. Anyways, so I did not need to go back to a 9 to 5 job, and now I'm one of the best-selling artists at Yellow Corner, and I've been for 8 years straight. I became friend with Scott Kilby. I'm a Photoshop instructor. I've been to many Photoshop worlds, online and offline, for about 4 or 5 years. Scott and I have become really good friends, which has been a dream of mine, to become friends with my mentor. I've now published 7 coffee table books with Enric Tenhouse, who unfortunately passed away. But while he was alive, we did 7 books together. I do photo walks with quite some people, as you can see. And I do workshops. All my workshops are sold out for the next month. That's why I'm here, except there's 2 seats left. We sold over 54 workshops, 6,500 a piece each. Everything's sold out. We only have 2 seats left. If you're interested, contact me. Anyway, so if you've been
I just want to say one thing quickly, Serge, and this is one of the most powerful things that I think you've mentioned so far, is that when you were really struggling and you wanted to be an artist, there were times when you wanted to give up. There were times when you wanted to quit. And I just imagine all of the photo books and the amazing people who have come through your trainings and the changes in their lives that they've seen because they're now doing something that they're passionate about. They're developing their art. They're curating their skills, and none of that would have happened if you gave up. So I just wanted to, not only is this an amazing masterclass in how to do great photography, but also, guys, it's so important that you don't give up. And it only takes that one little change, that one little thing that you didn't know that could change everything forever.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the biggest misconception that I've seen is that you need to put in 10,000 hours. That is not true. Whatever art it is, you need to have good coaching. You need to have a good technique. And there are shortcuts. There are ways to do things faster and better. It's a matter of knowing the right information. Anyways, if you've been struggling, you might need a bit of coaching to see how you can improve your composition or your retouching. I just got this text. This blew my mind. Now, there's no exaggeration with I'm about to read. It's crazy when I got it. So Jacob Boris sent me this email on my Facebook group, and he says, amazing. Serge knows me well. I was one of his ambassador at one point. He was taking care of the Facebook group. I did the old version of the program. Last week, we celebrated $1 million of income from my photography business. And in April, my photos will be published by Spanish National Geographic. So as I said many times, he has changed my life, and I will forever be grateful for this. Well, thank you, Jacobs. So let me tell you this really quick story. I had this gentleman. He was about 77 years old, I want to say. And he just rented an RV. It's pretty expensive to rent an RV for 4 months to go through all the national parks. And he had planned to come to Paris to one of my workshops in May, that was about 2-3 years ago, at the end of the trip. So he came to my workshop, and I'm sitting next to him. We're taking a photo of the Louvre. And I see a mistake. I see he's overexposing his photo a little bit. So I showed him how to underexpose the photo a little bit more. And also, he was focusing wrong. I show him how to do selective focusing. I show you how to do focus stacking, because we're trying to get like foreground and background sharp at the same time. The next day, we go into a room, and I start retouching on a big screen this photo, and he starts crying and says, what's going on? He says, you have no idea. I just wasted $20,000. I said, why? He says, because in one day with you, I learned more than I did for the 30 years I've been doing photography. I just spent $20,000 doing all the national parks. All my photos are overexposed. They are not well composed. I learned so much about composition. And even the post-processing says, I have to go back. I'm going to re-spend $20,000 just to get everything right, because now I know. I was like, okay, I wasted over 10,000 hours on the wrong techniques, and I did not get better. It's only when I found out the natural drama format that I improved. So I spent over $50,000 in workshops and travel to figure this thing out. Now, today I'm going to share with you 3 secrets, the secrets of the natural drama. The first one is called Right with the Light, how to capture the best light even when the day is bad. Second, finding your own style, how to have a voice as a photographer. And third, how to achieve natural drama. I'm going to show you, I'm going to retouch live one of my best photos I've taken in 17 years, which was 2 days ago here in Tuscany. Are you guys ready for this? Okay, cool. So, secret number one, right with light. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the word photography itself comes from the Greek roots photos, which means light, and graphe, which means representation by means of light or drawing. Together, it means drawing with light. Photography means drawing with light. So nicer is your light, nicer is going to be your photo. This is a photo of the BRKM Bridge, also known as the Inception Bridge, because it was featuring Inception. And that's in broad daylight, and that's a shot I got last week from it. Which one do you think is more interesting? Right, and it was a bad day. It was a white day. The weather was like this all day. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to wait for the blue hour. I'm going to wait for the lights to turn on, and boom, got a good photo. This is me at the Arc de Triomphe last week. Beautiful day, but it's awful for photography. It's awful. So what I did, I put an ND 1000 filter, and I got this shot. And another day that was awful. The weather was so bad. So I took my 70 to 300, and that's this idea of compressing the bridge against the Eiffel Tower. And I waited for the night, and it's a night shot, but I love that shot. Okay, this is me in Venice 4 days ago. The weather was so bad, so I had this idea to do this kind of composition, and look at the result. It's kind of cool, and the weather was really, really bad. So you have to, and that's what I'm going to teach you. If I'm going to coach you, is how to find the right light, where to find the right light. Whatever the weather is, you can take great photos. Here's a crazy story. This is me with my buddy, Tim Shield. Tim was my student for many years, and we met that day in Hollywood. And check this out. That's my setup. Thanks to Tim and his duct tape. I've duct taped it here. Duct tape here. Duct taped here. And we are shooting Hollywood. And that's how it looked when we arrived. And I waited for the right light with Tim, and that's the photo I got at the end. Now, crazy life gets crazy sometime. And this is the next day. Derek Stevens, a good friend of mine, tells me that the state of California is looking for a new photo of Hollywood. And I send in the photo. I forget about it. 1 month after, I win first place. And Tim says, so Tim, I've been coaching him, and we met that day at the Hollywood sign. Says, Serge course changed my life forever. And he was voted best landscape by Masters Photography International. He's one of the most awarded photographers that I know. Won so many awards. I mean, look at his work. That I can have a student that I coach to become that good really makes me proud. So what I'm about to show you works for like landscape, cityscape, portrait, environmental portrait, wildlife, macro, lifestyle portrait, street photography, underwater photos, phone photography. Some people say I'm too old to learn all of that. It's not true. I've been coaching this gentleman named Ari Boklik. He's semi-retired, and look at his work before and after. He got so good. He's now starting to selling his prints. So secret number 2, how to find your voice. Now, I've been obsessed by Nick Brandt. Nick Brandt is one of the best-selling. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention one thing. Today, in 2021 and 2022, the best-selling artists on the planet are all black and white artists. Black and white photography is hotter than ever. One of the ambassadors of black and white is Nick Brandt, very known for his work in Africa. Another one is Clive Butcher. Clive Butcher is known as the Ansel Adams of Florida. I was last month during my workshop. We went to check out his gallery in Venice, Florida. Amazing work. He used to shoot in 8x10, 4x5. He's shooting digital now. His galleries are doing extremely well. He's selling a lot. Black and white is hotter than ever. But you know what's crazy? Laurent Baheux. Now, you might not know who that gentleman is, but he's the #1 seller in the world in Yellow Corner. And Yellow Corner is the #1 gallery on the planet. So that makes him one of the, he's probably right after Nick Brandt and right after Peter Link, one of the best-selling black and white artists. And he only does black and white. Only does black and white. He's crazy. His work is everywhere. Ansel Adams. I was obsessed by Ansel Adams, you know. So how do you find your style? Well, what I did is I spent a lot of time studying Ansel Adams. I went to see developers and see how they developed the old black and whites. And I figured out with mentorship with the work of that developer, with Scott Kelby and other people, how to do this in Lightroom. Check it out. This is Ansel Adams in 1935, and this is me in 2015 using Lightroom and shooting the same view, the tunnel view. This is some of my black and white work from Tuscany that I shot a couple of years ago. This is also one I shot in Paris. So that's Peter Lik again. The way I suggest you find your voice is find a photographer that you like, try to buy all these tutorials, or try to buy my tutorials, and just reverse engineering what he does. That's what I did with all the people I love, and I can help you with that. And so that was Peter Lik. He didn't have any tutorials, so I spent a lot of time studying his style. But when you study somebody else's style and you try to copy his work, you know, there is a saying that if you copy from one person, you're stealing. But if you copy from 100 or 10, you're a genius. And I took some stuff of Peter Lik, I took some stuff of Scott Kelby, I took some stuff from Matt Ruskowski, from Dave Cross, from Eric Almas, from many people that I love, to find my own style. So that's, for example, that's a Peter Lik, one of his best-selling photos in gallery. And totally randomly, I took the same framing of the same place in south of France. This is me doing like Peter Lik's style panorama in Paris. This is my version of the Antelope. If you ever go to the Antelope in Page, Arizona, this is called the Lady in the Wind. That's my version of it. And that was that's Peter Lik version of it. So basically the idea is you find somebody that you love, you reverse it. Like, for example, a lot of people, they copy me, but in the process of copying me, they find their own voice every time. And that's the way to do it. Another example, I'm obsessed with Eric Almas. He has tutorials for sales. Not easy to follow, to be honest. They're very long, but the guy is a genius. It's just the first tutorial I saw, there was like 30 people on set. But I think he's the best photographer on the planet, literally. And this is some of his work. Look at this. This was in Venice. And Eric Almas, ladies and gentlemen. And this is me trying to do some Eric Almas reverse engineering. And then I even added like some 3D stuff, and I did my own style, So it's always the same thing. You find somebody that you love and you work with a coach on how to reverse engineer the style, and you will find your voice in that process. Secret number 3. Now, I'm happy to announce that after 5 years, people have been requesting this for 5 years, I have updated all my preset, my color preset, my black and white preset. I'm happy to announce that today, for the first time in 5 years, I'm releasing all my new presets using the latest feature of Lightroom, because some of my presets did not work well with the latest feature of Lightroom, and I made them a lot better. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go to Lightroom. And so this is a photo that I shot 2 days ago here in Tuscany. This is a hotel. I forgot the name of the hotel. I forgot the name. If you Google best photos in Tuscany, this is going to come right away. That's the raw file. I underexposed it. I shot it. You can see the date. I shot it. I shot it 2 days ago. And I spent quite some time retouching it, but I'm going to show you how in one click, using my brand new natural drama preset. They used to be called signature preset. Now they're called natural drama. There is a lot more. So I focused on the preset mostly on golden hour preset. So you can see that's all the golden hour. There's a lot of golden hour option. On this one, I'm going to use for example, the full magenta. Boom. And as soon as you use a preset, you just have to verify that your black point is good, that your white point is good. And, you can always move things around. The preset now includes a lot of dodge and burning, and it's named properly because now there is naming feature. So like you can see, this is for the sky. It says sky. That's for the bottom. It says bottom. That's for the sun, the golden sun. You can see the before, after. Everything, there's 2 for the sky, 2 bottoms. There's different feature. And it comes with like a full training on how to use it. I can try another version. I like this one too, and it's just a start, but it's going to help you. You should try these presets on your files. You will see. Now, I also released a whole bunch of new natural drama black and white. I went crazy on the black and white. I went with extreme dodge and burning. I went also with cold blue, and look at this. This is the warm. Yeah, I think I'm going to use. You just go through and see which one you like the most. I think I'm going to like this one the most, and boom. And then And I got a really cool black. Of course, I would spend more time on it, but these presets, I have tested this preset on over 5,000 photos, and they do wonders, like with other people's photography, wonders. So the secret number 3 is I'm going to show you using my book and the preset on how to get this natural drama style. And I'm going to propose you. Anyways, some people tell me I don't have the time to watch tutorial. That's totally fine, because what I'm about to show you, you don't even need to watch tutorials. You should, but you don't even have to start by that. You can use a preset and you can use a coaching. The biggest regrets I have in life is that I should have done this when I was 17. When I was doing flyers in Saint-Etienne, I should have started doing 4x. Sometimes I dream that I'm 17 again and I pick up a 4x5 camera and I start doing it. That's the only regret I have in life, is I did not start earlier. I didn't believe in myself earlier. And I want the same thing for you. If you love photography like I do, you should be the best you can be at it. I used to take boring photos or over-retouched photos, or using the wrong camera settings, or using the wrong camera settings for sunsets. My life before natural drama, I spent a lot of money to travel, and I was not happy with the photos. I got rejected by the press. I was not making a living as a fine art photographer, and I was miserable. There is a new way. It's called the natural drama format, but what I'm about to show you is completely brand new. If you ever bought something from me in the past, I have not released anything new in 2 years, and this is the first time. It's called the Travel Fine Art Masterclass and Coaching. So the way it works is I'm going to explain you exactly what camera settings to get the best possible raw files, how to deal with high dynamic range situations, how to make black and white like masters. And I'm going to give you a preset. I'll show you the way. It's a full set of presets. It's 80 new view presets for all the colors and all the black and white for every time of the day. It's the best presets I have ever done using the latest feature of Lightroom. For the presets to work, you need to have the latest version of Lightroom. I mean, you need to have like a subscription with Lightroom. You need to know how to compose better so you can tell a strong story. I'm going to show you how to post-process the raw file to make them even better, how to create emotion with your art. So what is this coaching program? Well, I'll give you an example. What I do is every Wednesday I go live and I give you a special link where you can give me your raw file. So you put your name on it, you put the original raw file, and then you put the photo, how you retouched it, and you load it there, okay? And usually it's at 3 p.m. Eastern time every Wednesday, which is when I'm in Europe at 8 p.m. Sometimes there's a change, but 90% of the time it's at that time. So for example, this is just from last Wednesday session. Roberto Fracassi, somebody I've been coaching for 2 years, which I actually met in Venice, which we took that photo together, sent me this photo. This is the before, and this is after. It's called Ricardo Fracassi. I've been coaching this guy, so he was sending to me, like when somebody sends me something like this, like I have nothing to say. This is another one that we shot together. This is the before, and this is the after. I was like, Ricardo, I call him the maestro. He got so good. So just so you know, Ricardo, I didn't know this. He was a general manager of a 80 rooms, 5-star hotel in Florence. And he got so passionate with the coaching that I gave him that he quit his job. I'm telling you, the pay you get when you're a 5-star general manager of a hotel in Florence is not 2 cents. It's one of the most well-paid jobs you can get in Florence. And he quit his job because he loves so much photography. And he said the reason he quit his job was because of my coaching. I couldn't believe it. Anyways, so he sent that to me last week. This is another photo from a photographer called Julius Caesar. Sometimes people go crazy. This guy's been studying my techniques, and he decided, like, that's his voice, to go like he took out the tourists, he make a day to night. That's just his thing. I respect that. I thought it was a great job. This is Dave Small sent me, one of my students, Dave Small sent this beautiful view of Yosemite. That's the raw file. That's how you retouch it. And then live with Dave, I said, okay, let's try to go black and white, Ansel Adams style. I mean, that view, I never got to get the claws like this, Mark Barthelemy, who does mostly phone photography, got named, I've been coaching him on his live for a long time, in a top 10 photographers in Luxembourg. This is some of his work before and after. He's a teacher, and he got hooked, and I've been coaching him a lot. Sherry Lalonde, I've been coaching her a lot. She's now an award-winning photographer in Canada, and she sold these images. This is before the coaching. This is after her coaching. Some of the images that she did is really cool. Look at this photo of the daughter that she did. Look at the style of how she was doing before and after. I'm telling you, having somebody, the way I'm going to coach you is first I look at the image. I look what I like about it and how it can be improved. And live, we retouch it together. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. Lisha Walsh says, I 3x my Fun Art America sales after search training. Well, there you go. Lisha is one of my best students also. She's selling a lot on Fun Art America. And, you know, I want to say something. Most of the people that I coach are old-timer photographers. They've been taking photography for 20, 30, 40 years. And often what I find, it's small things. It's small things. It's details. But Leonardo da Vinci, who is quite an artist, says, details makes perfection, and perfection is not a detail. If you don't get an honest feedback on your work, and that's what I try to do, like I tell it like it is, like don't send me your photo expecting me to say, oh, it's beautiful, there's nothing to improve. No, I look at it, I look what I like about it, how it can be improved. That's what I do. And that's how I teach people in my workshops. By the way, I still got 2 seats left for Paris, if anybody's interested. Diana Rombaldis, she's a scientific and she loves photography. She's look at the work before and after. I love that photo of a lake she took next to where she lives in Italy. Kathleen Goldfire, she's retired. I have a lot of people which are retired doing this training, coaching this training because they want to make an extra income or because they just want to have an adventure. I coached a guy on my workshop about a month ago. He literally is not a billionaire, but hundreds of millions of dollars. And so he doesn't need the money, but he wants the game. He's retired. He doesn't want to get bored. He wants to share the beauty of this world. He wants to raise money for his charities using his photography, you know. And some people like Catherine, she needs the money. She wants to sell some of her work because she's retired and she wants to make an extra money, you know. Look at the work before and after of Catherine. Not everybody's retired. Doug Spudden is, you know, a good student of mine. And this is some of the photos he's been sending on the coaching. Like, I love this photo he just took from Ireland. Very natural drama. Riccardo Fracasio, there's a typo there. So that's the guy who says he quit his job as a general manager for Florence. And look, this is before the coaching, how he was doing. That's the view from the Michelangelo Plaza of Florence. Very famous. That's how he used to do it before, and that's how he does it now. George Sturgeon, who is an amazing guitar player in London, he says, search training is the best education money can buy. Look at his photo before and after. So the weekly coaching sessions, what you're going to get costs $1,500 per year. That's the whole value of it. Now, there is something I'm going to release starting next week. I'm going to start making a game 4 times a year to award. So basically every week when you come in on the live coaching, I'm going to pick 3 winners of the best photos. So I encourage you to send your best work, and we're going to work at it. And there's going to be a point system, and every 3 months somebody's going to get like an award of like it's going to be like artist of the month of May or the month of June, and he's going to get a physical award. And I'm going to show his work to 1 million people that follows me. I'm going to send it to my 300,000 people mailing list. I'm going to send it to all my Facebook contacts, Instagram, everybody. 4 times a year, I'm going to pick a photographer. So come on the coaching, and I can maybe even boost your social media. I can not only coach you. So it's the best $1,500 you can spend. And I'm happy to announce that I have a new course coming out called Bad Weather, Bad Light, No Problem. This is a course I've been wanting to do for years. It's all about how to use any opportunity of light to make great photos. Photos like long exposure with ND filters, how to shoot at night, how to shoot at the blue hour when the weather has been so bad, how to play around with, you know, small framing and clever composition, how to get the best out of the blue hour. So you're going to get my weekly coaching session, which is $1,500 per year. That's the new price. The Bad Weather, Bad Light, No Problem, which has a value of $300. Total value is $1,800. Okay. Then you're going to get the raw file. I'm actually going to give you the raw file, the same raw file that I'm actually going to retouch and give to 150 galleries around the world. All I'm asking is you don't sell the photos, but I'm giving you the raw files that I'm actually dealing with my galleries with it, believe it or not. It has a lot of value to me, so I've priced it at $500. So you're going to get the coaching session, which has a value of $1,500 per year. You're going to get Bad Weather, Bad Light, No Problem, $300 value. Bad Weather, Bad Lights, No Problem, raw files $500 value. Total is $2,300. Then I'm going to give you my brand new natural drama color preset. After 5 years, I finally updated all my presets in color, and I improved them so much. They're way better. I only use these presets now. You're going to love this, because even without doing the training or the coaching, you can start playing around with them with your raw file and get really surprising results. So you're going to get the weekly coaching session. You're going to get the bad weather, bad light. You're going to get the bad weather, bad light raw files, and you're going to get the preset, the new color preset. Total value is $2,400. Then I'm going to give you a whole training course, because if I just give you the preset without some training, you might get confused. So I'm going to give you a whole training course on how to use a color preset. So now you're going to get the weekly coaching session, which is $1,500 per year. The bad weather, bad light, $300. The bad weather, bad light, no problem raw file, $500. The new natural drama preset, $100, and the training that goes with it, $100. The total value is $2,500. But it doesn't stop here. I'm also going to give you the raw file that goes with it. You're going to get some of my best raw file, which have nothing to do with the course, which you can photos which are in galleries. So you're going to get the coaching, the bad weather course, the bad weather raw files, the natural drama preset, the training goes with the natural preset, and a whole set of raw files that are in galleries, some of my best photo ever that you're going to get with this training. Okay, then I'm going to give you the black and white, the brand new black and white preset. Okay, so you're going to get the coaching, the bad weather course, the raw files, the color preset, the training of the color preset, the raw file for the color preset, and the black and white preset. Total value, $3,100. It's not all. It doesn't stop here. I'm going to give you also the raw files for the natural black and white. So you're going to get the coaching, the bad weather raw files, the color preset training, the color preset raw files, the natural black and white, and the raw file that goes with it. And of course, I have a training that goes with it. So you get all the coaching, the bad weather course with the raw files. You get all the preset with all the training, color and black and white. $3,700 value. And of course, I'm going to give you the training that goes with the black and white. Oh, no, that's not a training. That's a brand new course. Sorry. I just made for the first time a new course on black and white using Lightroom Classic, Lightroom Normal, and Lightroom Mobile. All three software on black and white. This is some of the part. Look at this. This was an iPhone photo. This one was done in Photoshop and Lightroom. Look at that. This was done just in Lightroom, and this was just done in Lightroom. This is the best black and white course I ever done. We spent a lot of time studying the work from the masters, Clyde Butcher, Ansel Adams, Nick Brandt, Laurent Baeux, and see how we can apply it in Lightroom, in Photoshop, in Lightroom Classic. I even show you how to do it on your phone. And that's the project of the phone. This is the project of, look, it's my favorite, and it's on the phone. It's crazy. So this is the best black and white course I ever done. It surpasses any black and white course. It uses the latest technology of the phone, of Lightroom. There's been so many updates. I haven't updated my courses in so many years. This is one more project we're going to be doing. So it's a whole black and white course. So you're going to get the weekly coaching. You're going to get the bad weather with the raw file, with the training. You're going to get all the presets with the training and the raw files. And you're going to get the natural drama, the new natural drama black and white masterclass, $300 value. The whole thing is now $4,000. And it's not all. I'm going to give you the raw files that goes with it. The raw files that I'm giving Gary. So that's a lot of value to me. These are photos I make tens of thousands of dollars with it. I'm giving you so you can train with it. So total value is $4,500. And voila. Guys, I had two choices. First option, I could make it cheap. Or second option, I can be live every week and retouch your raw file with you and guide you to make the best out of them. If all this did, if you gave me $4,500 and all it did was to help you next time you travel to take the best possible photo, would it be worth it? If you could get an assessment of your strengths and weakness on your portfolio, would it be worth it? You know, if you get your attention, if you get more attention for your work, would it be worth it? Okay. See, my rules for coaching, if you send me photos, it's going to be the following. First of all, I look what I liked about the photo and then what can be improved. What I like, what can be improved. Okay. So what's the coaching? Was it worth to you? I mean, a year of education is $20,000. Okay. My own workshop, which are all sold out except 2 seats, by the way, goes for $6,500. And I'm actually going to increase the price next year. But you can get all of that, all I've mentioned today, for $297, except the coaching, which you have to pay every year. But I decided to do something special because I'm in Tuscany. So guys, first of all, you got two choices. You can do nothing and don't take the time to come to my coaching, or you can follow me on this adventure, and together we're going to make a killer portfolio. Okay. Now, I don't care if it is in 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes. If this travel natural drama bundle, this masterclass, and the coaching doesn't work for you, I will give you money back. But please, please come to the coaching. Send me your raw file. Send me how you retouch it. Like, this is not about me. I'm good. This is about you. This is your decision. You're buying my time. You have to decide whether you do it or you don't do it. So the real question is, do you have any interest in getting your photography to the next level? If you are part of the natural drama formula and you're willing to put in the work, it will change your artistic life. And because we're in Tuscany and because this is live, I decided to do something crazy because I've been increasing the price of the coaching. The first 35 people, we have a lot of people live today, the first 35 people to sign up will have a lifetime coaching, no annual fee, meaning you pay $297 and that's it. You get the coaching for life. You don't have to pay the next year $1,500. It's only for the people who are getting this deal right now. So, also, some of you might already have the Facebook coaching. In that case, whatever you paid for it, you can still get this. So you get all my latest courses because they're the best course I've ever done and the latest preset. You can get all that. And I will look whatever you paid for the coaching, because there's been some different prices. I will give you the money back. But get the opportunity to get all these new courses and this new preset. So get started now for just $297. Mike?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see a link, and that link is going to take you directly to the Travel Fine Art Masterclass. All you got to do is click the Yes, I'm Ready button to get started right now, and you're going to get $4,500 worth of value for only $297 today. And the next 35 people who take Serge up on this offer are going to get lifetime access to the coaching with Serge, and you'll never have to pay a yearly membership fee. This is by far the most extraordinary offer I've ever seen you make, Serge. The fact that we see people, person after person, taking this coaching, who are graduating, being able to sell their photography, print their photography, share their photography with the world, boost their social media accounts, or just enjoy it as a hobby. And it's so fascinating because we have people who are in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 70s, who got started with this coaching within the last 2 years and are now professional photographers, literally making money online, selling their photography to be able to do something you love and are passionate about, and sell that work or just create something beautiful to share with your friends and family has been the most exciting thing. I get goosebumps literally thinking about the people who have come through this training program with you, Serge, who now have a relationship with you, a connection with you. I just imagine what it would have been like if you had an opportunity for, at 17 years old or at 30 years old or at 40 years old to work with your mentors for such an extraordinary value and to be able to do it for life. It's just an amazing opportunity. So all you have to do to get started right now is click on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. I'm going to turn on the chat here in just a second. And we're also going to be answering your questions. If you have specific technical questions you want to ask Serge, we're going to be answering those here in just a second as well. But what an amazing opportunity. And again, this only goes for the first 35 people who take Serge up on this brand new course, brand new offer, new presets, new color presets, new Lightroom presets. And all you got to do is get started right now.
Yeah, I wrote a few questions that I often get that I wanted to answer. So, for example, one question I got a lot is, I'm already doing a lot of training. Why should I follow this? Well, because this is coaching. This is me live with you with your raw files. This is me giving you the latest preset. A lot of people have been asking me to update my course, with the latest version. I wanted something original. That's why I did the bad weather photography. That's why I did the whole black and white course, because black and white right now is probably the #1 selling photos in the world. Like the photographers doing the best right now are black and white artists. Black and white, I didn't know this. I found this out lately, is much stronger than I thought. Anyways, so this is more than just buying courses. This is really also spending time with me, And if you already have the Facebook coaching, you can just get and grab all the course, whatever you paid for it will, refund you. So just get the offer, because we're doing it just live right now, the 297.
Yeah, so some folks have asked that similar question. What if they're already a part? What if they already own some training, or they're already a part of this? Well, so the entire bundle is brand new. So all of the presets are brand new. The bad weather, no problem, is all new. All of the entire thing is new. If you do own the coaching program already, so if you already are showing up for the Wednesday classes live every single week, you can go ahead and get this bundle still, and then we'll refund you whatever you paid for the coaching previously.
Exactly.
I just want to congratulate. We got a lot of people taking us up on the offer. I just want to congratulate Joe Aldrich, who just opted in. Congratulations. You guys are in within the first 35, so you will get the unlimited coaching forever. Congratulations.
Yes. So somebody asked also, do I have to come to every coaching session? Absolutely not. Right now, the first 35 people, we have a lifetime access. So get it now, because I'm telling you, this is so successful that I am going to put it at $1,500 per year. So get it, and I will honor it. But you have to get in on it right now. And some people come once a month. Some people like Roberto, Diana, I have like a core number of people that come every Wednesday. But you don't have to. It's because if you're part of the first 35 people right now, you come whenever you want. I'm always there for you, and it's really cool. I'm just a beginner. Why should I get this? Because although I do coach people that have been taking photos for 20, 30 years, that's what I specialize in, I also take care of beginners. I've gotten people in 12 months from nothing to selling fine art prints or landscapes, working for big agency. I had a guy, it's a true story. I helped him, was in Los Angeles. He had a Canon T2i, and within 12 months of doing my training, he was making $10,000 a month shooting real estate. Now he shoots with medium format camera. He's a big shot now. But he started in 12 months from nothing with like a $300 camera. He was charging $3,000 for shoots in Los Angeles with like a toy from Best Buy at $300.
Stuart Greenberg just said in the chat, Serge's coaching has been invaluable to me. It's more than just seeing him work on my photos. I learned so much watching him and critique the photos of others as well. And I think that's one of the most important things to remember here, because every single week, every single person who sends their photos in, they get retouched. Every single question that's asked gets answered in that training session. And even if you didn't do a photo that week, or you're somebody who is a little scared, a little nervous to get started, you can get warmed up by watching him retouch other people's photos. And not only retouching, but when you send him a photo, he's gonna talk about the composition as well. What can you do better next time to get a better composition? Are you using leading lines? Are you using the rule of thirds? These are all things that you're going to be coached on every single week. And when you think about taking away all the technical jargon or paying $20,000 to go to photography school, this is absolutely the best deal that you can get to get coaching directly from your mentor on a week-to-week basis. All you got to do is click on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen to get started right now. And I just want to let folks know we got a few spots left in the 35. If you want lifetime access, go ahead and click now. Everybody who has already purchased today is in for Lightroom, or is in for the lifetime access. We're going to be running out of spots here, I would say, in the next 5-10 minutes. So make sure you do it now. 100% money back guarantee if in 29 days and 59 minutes and 59 seconds, if you find out for any reason it's not right for you, we'll give you your money back. But guess what? Very few people ever ask for it, because they're getting results so quickly. Within a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you're going to see a dramatic improvement in the photography you're already doing. A lot of folks will come in and then they'll go back and go into their library of old raw photos they did that they threw away
all the time.
Yeah, and then they're sending them to Serge, and he's showing how to revitalize them, bring life back into them. So your entire past portfolio, all of your raw files up to this point, can be brought back to life, and you're going to be able to do this every single week with Serge on Wednesdays.
Yes, and Mike, this is a bit of a surprise. I didn't tell you about this, but I just decided just before. I've been working, so I actually became an ambassador for Samsung, and they came up with a new phone called the S22 Ultra, which I got, and I have the iPhone 13. So it gave me the idea. I'm doing this with Samsung to create a brand new masterclass on phone photography, because phone photography is everything. And so I'm not quite done with it yet, but I just took the decision. Anybody who is going to get this is a $300 course. This is not a small course. It's a big, huge course. Anybody who's getting this now, it's not ready yet. It's going to be released within a week or two. Is going to get the phone photography masterclass for free. Yes, this is crazy. This is something I just decided because I'm live here in Tuscany. I want to make this very special. So if you're on the fence, that course alone is worth the $297. I mean, phone photography is becoming the S22 from Samsung, Android or iPhone. I'm using Lightroom on both of them. I'm also using just the app itself. It's unbelievable what you can do with it. The S22 from Samsung is a 104 million pixel camera. Yes, you heard that right. 104 million pixel in a phone. And they are killing Apple. It's way better than Apple. I mean, I'm a huge Apple fan, but I have both phones. And I'm telling you, phone photography is the next big thing. It's already huge. People are blowing up on social media. And so I wanted to do a whole course about, because the way you compose with a phone is different. You know, you can do stuff with phone. You can get like really low. You can do, there's a whole different ball game with phone that you cannot do with traditional camera. So I'm going to cover this. I'm going to cover the retouch. I'm going to show you how to use a preset that you just got. So I just decided, if you got a phone, and like one thing I love to do now is I'm like with my GFX 100S, 102 million pixel camera, and I'm taking a photo, and then I pull out my iPhone or my S22, and I take a photo and I retouch it and I post it. I retouch it with my new preset and I post it on social media. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've been seeing this, and it just boosted my social media so much in my business tremendously. I mean, phone photography is everything. So, okay, this was not planned, because it's a $300 item. I'm giving it for free. Anybody who gets a $297 right now, you're going to get this. It's not out yet. You'll get it in a week or two, but we'll add it to your account automatically. You'll get an email when it's out.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. So I didn't even know you were going to be offering this, but so the phone photography course is going to be included in this when it comes out, and everyone's going to get it for free. That's amazing. I just wanted to quickly shout out Ricardo Fracassi, who's already in your weekly Facebook training. He says, I strongly recommend it. Not only I improved my skill, but I also saw other students improvement week by week. The Facebook group is invaluable. Chris Coons asked this question. This is a great question, and I really want everybody to stop what you're doing and listen to this. So he asks, is this, are these every single Wednesday, are these coaching students of Serge's? Are they people on the team who train you? No, this is Serge personally every single week. So you're not going to get somebody else. You're going to get Serge, who's going to be working with you every single Wednesday on this. And again, I just got a note from Richard that we are running low on spots on the first 35. So if you want to get lifetime access
we have only 2 spots, like
to the training, you've got to act now and get in on the 35, because it will be going away.
I didn't know that Ricardo was live with us, but Ricardo, he can test him, because I've been coaching Ricardo for 2 years, but I think Richard Randall is here. There's other people that I've been coaching for a long time. Anyway, if you are on the fence, if anybody who's here live with me who has been coached by me, please leave a comment for other people, just as a testimony of what I'm saying, because I've seen Ricardo work. I mean, I was with him in Venice last week. We were sitting next to each other. We were taking the same photos, and then it's a funny story, Ricardo. I didn't tell you this, but I showed to my wife the photo you took, and she was like amazed. And the photo we took of the Rialto Bridge, I was like, maybe it's not a great photo. When I saw your photo, then I went back and I retouched my photo. So he's now, I call Ricardo El Maestro. Ricardo is probably the only student who's been the most at my coaching. And I mean, you can tell your story. He was the manager of a 5-star hotel in Florence. I thought you were the receptionist of a hotel at first. I didn't realize you were the general manager of a 5-star hotel. Ricardo is a very, how do you say, professional person. You can tell he's not just anybody, and the body work that he has, I keep telling him like he could make a great living with his photo, and I've seen him progress over the years. But anyway, if there's other people there, if you want to leave your testimonial, because I know there's a few people, anyway, anybody who's getting this now, the $297, you're going to get this course alone is $300. This is probably one of the best courses. And I did this course with the S22 Ultra. And you're going to get some photo from Egypt, from Florida, from Venice, from Florence. I mean, it's a major course. It's all about composition and retouching. We do everything in a phone. Everything is on the phone. And everybody's got a phone. And I'm telling you, phone photography is the next big thing. So I'm giving it for free for anybody who gets this offer right now. This is something I decided because we're here live in Tuscany. And
I just wanted to say one thing. James asked, he said he's got some older training from you, and he already has the coaching program, and he wants to purchase the updated course only again. So we created this bundle, and I didn't even know we were giving away the phone photography masterclass, which is amazing. But we created this bundle with value in mind. So what you're going to get is, it's valued at $4,500. So even if you owned everything Serge has at $297, you're getting all new, the bad weather, no problem. You're getting all of the new presets. But if you already have the coaching, don't worry, because whatever you paid for the coaching before, you can get a refund on that. So go ahead and get started right now so you can make sure you're opted in for the lifetime coaching as well.
Yeah, I wanted to make this as affordable as possible, and I wanted everybody to have my latest preset. I mean, just the preset alone has so much value to me, because this is 90% of my photos. I always start with the presets. Presets have so much value because they're really professional presets. There's a lot of like local adjustments to it. And so many people there's been so many updates in the last 2 years. And anyways, now you have the latest of the latest with this. We have, I think, almost sold out the 35 seats, but you know what? I'm going to add 5 more seats. Because I think we sold out. I have to make a calculation, but I think we sold out the 35 seats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 5 more seats. If you get this offer now, you get the lifetime coaching, 5 more people, and then we're done. A few more minutes.
I just wanted to quickly say, Jeff Lapointe, he's a student of yours, and he just mentioned in the chat, ever since starting the trainings from Serge, my photography has improved 1,000%. Thank you so much, Serge. And one of the things that I appreciate about you, Serge, is how affordable these offers are and how available you make yourself to your students. Being able to show up with your mentor every single week and get the coaching that you need to improve. Like it's important. Like the training is incredibly important. The trainings that you've got here are so critical to helping people take it step by step. Even if you only have 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes a week to sit down and do the training, being able to get out there, take a little bit of what you learned in the training, go take a shot, bring it back, bring it to Serge personally. Again, you are meeting with Serge personally. This is not one of his students that you're meeting with. These are not paid coaches. This is Serge himself, who has 7 coffee table books, who has created an extraordinary photography portfolio, selling his work around the world. He's going to be working with you personally. So if you're on the fence, again, 30-day money back guarantee, which you're not going to need because you're going to be so in love with this training and the live coaching. But you have 2 choices today. One is to do nothing. There's 0 risk involved in that, but most likely you're not going to change anything about your photography, unfortunately. I hope you do, but generally people don't. Or 2, you can take us up on this offer, which is also 0 risk, because if it's not for you, it's a 30-day money-back guarantee. But the chance of you improving your photography by working directly with Serge is 95% greater than if you did nothing. So why not take a 0 risk opportunity, get off the fence, take some action? One of the biggest things that I notice with people is fear keeps them from attaining their goals. And when you take action, when you actually act, when you take action today and get started, you're going to be changing that entire dynamic, because you're going to be moving forward. And all you have to do is click the button on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. We've got 5 more slots available for folks who want lifetime access with Serge. All you got to do is click that button to get started right now.
Yes, and I'm just going to answer. We're going to, the 5 slots going to go very fast. So go grab it right now. I'll honor it. I'll make sure you don't have to pay anything else. But I'm going to close this offer in about 5-10 minutes. I just want to answer a few other questions. If it's so good, why don't you give it for free? I'll tell you a story. Every time I've given training for free or presets for free to people, they're not using it. And it takes commitment if you give me a little bit of your money, you put a commitment, you're going to show up at the coaching. There's a very, very famous story from Russell Brunson, who's a marketing guru. He used to be he used to do fight. I don't know how you call it, like in school, catch. We say catch in France. I don't know how you call it. And you know what I'm talking about, Mike. And he used to tell this story that he had this mentor who came in to see him one day in the room and says, "Give me your wallet." And he took $20 out of the wallet. He says, "Why do you take me $20?" He says, "Because now you owe me $20. You got to watch this video." Because he wanted him to watch that video. And he says, "Now you paid $20 to watch that video." And he watched it. He says, "If you don't pay me, I know you're not going to watch the video." And I've seen it because I work with other people. Every time I've given training out for free or other people just don't do it. If you put a bit of money, and $297 for this is nothing. It's literally nothing. If you put a bit of commitment to it, this could change your life. I've had people, like people like Tim Shield. I mean, Tim Shield was selling T-shirts when I met him, and now he's an award photographer, all over the world. So many people that have quit their jobs that are doing photography. I could go on and on and on and on. So it's not about me. It's about you. It's about you showing up. It's about you taking the next step to do the art that you want to do.
Joseo Aren says, "I'm not a photographer. I started last year taking courses from Serge last year. Now my photos are awesome. I get great feedback on my Instagram. Check out Jose Aren on Instagram. Now I'm in the Serge Institute of Photography, and Serge is the best. Great mentor." Michael wants to know, he already owns Zero to Pro. How is this different? Can you answer that real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry, it's totally different. Zero to Pro is a very specific course taking from Zero to Pro. But Zero to Pro was done 2 years ago. There's been many updates, and this is a whole new approach to black and white. It's a whole new approach to bad weather, a whole new preset, new course on phone. I mean, technology changes so much. It's complete different courses. If you own the Zero to Pro, you should really get this. It's a great compliment. It's got nothing to do with the Zero to Pro. It's the latest training with the latest tools. It's about bad weather photography. It's about black and white, which is not even covered in Zero to Pro. It's about the new preset. It's the coaching. It has nothing to do with the Zero to Pro. So, but some people did buy the coaching with the Zero to Pro. In this case, I will see how much, and I will refund you that amount. But anyways, one more question I get is, I have been doing photography for 30 years. Why should I get this? Well, I'll tell you why you should get this. Because I specialize in coaching people which has been doing photography for 30 years. That's what I specialize in, 100%. And I don't know why, but most of the people that come to me have been doing photography for at least 30 years. So this is perfect. I don't do cityscape photography. Why should I get this? Well, I'll tell you why. Because this covers landscape, this covers lifestyle, this covers anything. It's about photography itself. That's one question I get also a lot. I'm not good with computers. Can I follow? Yes, you can. I mean, sending me the raw files and the JPEG is super fast. You just drag and drop, and that's it. It's very easy. Okay, guys, we just sold out the 5 spots. It went a little faster than I thought. So I'm gonna put again 3 spots, just 3 spots, 3 more people that gets a lifetime access to me and nothing else. 3 people. Okay, so you got literally 1 minute. If you're still on the fence, get it, because at least in 6 months from now, even if you're not using it for 6 months, you're going to Iceland, you're doing a workshop, so you can come back, you can show me what you did, I can coach you on it. It's going to be there for you as long as I'm doing coaching. I'm going to take only 3 more people. The 5 slots sold out so fast. Maybe you want to welcome some of the people that just took the offer, Michael, because I don't see them. I don't have all the names.
Absolutely. Chris Kuntz, I want to welcome you. I don't have them all in front of me right now, so I'll grab those and we'll welcome them in just a second. But I did want to quickly, before I do that, I wanted to let people know also, I just put a link in the chat for those of you who want to get the brand new Lightroom Classic book for free, How to Achieve Natural Drama. All you got to do is click that link. And you can get that for free today as well for anybody who has stuck around for the entire time. Even if you, those of you who purchased the course, you're getting everything, obviously. But for those of you who didn't, all you have to do is click that button to get that as well right now.
Exactly. So one question I get a lot is, I'm not good with computers. Can I follow? Absolutely. I actually specialize with teaching in photo clubs. I was recently in Venice, Florida, doing not Venice, Naples, Florida. Sorry, and not Naples, Italy, which I'm about to go. And I was teaching the average age, and this is not a joke, of the people I was teaching was 76 years old. That was the average age. And I was teaching them Photoshop. I specialize in teaching people which are not good with computers, not good at all. So, guys, we have 3 more spots, 3 more people we're going to take, and that's going to be it. 3 more people. Get it. You get a lifetime access. Even if you don't want to use it now, just get it. And whenever you want, I'm going to be there for you every Wednesday. I'm going to take in 3 more people, and you're going to get my new phone photography masterclass. Everybody who's getting the offer is getting that when it comes out in about a week or 2.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's a big one.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah,
well, I was just going to say quickly. I'm so sorry, Serge. I just wanted to make sure people know that in the chat, all you got to do is click that link, and you can get the free book right now. Van says, "I'm in. What are the next steps?" So for those of you, I just want to congratulate everybody who's opted in today. You are in for an absolute treat, and you've accessed the lifetime photo Surge training, live training every single Wednesday. So again, in the chat here, all you got to do is click the button right now if you want to grab the free book as well. And I just want to congratulate everybody. You're going to love it. On says, I can't believe this offer. Amazing, Serge. I wish I could afford it right now. That's okay. For anyone who's been here, we're giving away the free book as well. So that can get you started. Even if you don't opt in today, we want to make sure that you know you're a part of the Photo Surge community, regardless of whether you opted in for this offer today or not. We're giving that away for free, and you can start putting that into practice immediately. If you can't see the chat, that might be, some people are saying they can't see the free book. If you can't see the chat, that's probably why. My name is Michael Mataluni, and if you look for my name right in the chat, you'll see a link under that that's going to take you directly to get that free book.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to end this offer. So one very important question. Somebody says, if I don't have Facebook, how can I still do this? The answer is yes. If you hate Facebook, if you don't want a Facebook, if you cannot stand Mark Zuckerberg, I totally understand. What you do is you create an account on Facebook under a different name. You don't put any of your photos. You just use this as a door to come to me and give me your RAW files and your JPEG so that I can see you work. That's what matters me the most. Okay, one more seat. One more person. I'm going to take one more person, maybe 2 more person. If you're still on the fence, come on. This is a lifetime access to being somebody whose work is in 150 galleries around the world. It's got 7 coffee table books. I can look at your work and I can coach you on your work. This is a great opportunity. I wish I had this when I started 17 years ago. Would have totally changed my life. I don't want to pay for Lightroom and Photoshop monthly. Can I still do this? Yes, you can. You could follow along with Luminar, although I think it's a bad idea because for the price of 2 coffees, you can get Lightroom and Photoshop. But you could do it with Luminar if you want. Another question I get is, can I download the videos? Yeah. Oh, you know what? I got another message. Okay. Some other people wants to get in. Look, okay. I'm going to add, because we sold out actually a little more. I'm going to add 5 more people, and that's it. Once we have 5 more people can get a lifetime access. And I promise this is it. I go after. Okay. 5 more people. Honestly, I did not think it was going to sell out so fast. So I'm going to take 5 more people. So can I download the video? The answer is yes. Richard, who is my assistant and webmaster and genius, is going to make sure that on Kajabi, which is a technology we use, you can download the video. I only do phone photography. Can I do this? Absolutely. I have a lot of people. I mean, phone photography, what does it mean? I was doing a photo shoot this morning you can see it on my Instagram. I mean, the quality of these phones is so crazy. Absolutely. You could only do this with your phone if you wanted to, because the rule of composition, the preset works on the phone. I already have all my presets installed on my iPhone 13 and on my Samsung S22. Absolutely.
Real quick, I'm still having people that are having problems accessing the free book. So again, maybe it's possible that you're not seeing the chat if you're on a phone or an iPad or maybe even your computer. You should see 3 little buttons somewhere, like 3 little dots. If you click that, it should open up the chat. And you should be able to click that link and it'll take you directly. You'll land on a page that says the 5-step system to achieve natural drama. You'll just put in your name and email there, and you'll get an email that's going to give you instant access to that. I just tested the link myself, so I know it works. But if you're still having problems, you can email us at support support@photosurge.com. If you have any questions specifically about getting that, or if you have any questions about the course, just email us at support@photosurge.com.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
and I just spoke to Richard behind the scenes. He said, everybody who's here right now, we have your email address. We're going to email you the free book. So even if for some reason you can't see the chat, if you can't see the link, don't worry. I promise you, I just spoke with Richard in the back, and he is going to email every single person who's in this group the free book. So do not worry. I promise you it will get there.
Yeah. One thing also I forgot to say, once you get the free book, I will try to I'll propose you a great deal where you can get my my old I mean, it's a bit of an older course, but for a very little amount of money. If you can't afford this $297, you can always get that. If you don't have my training, it's my older training. It's still amazing. It's still changed the life of many people. And so when you get the book, don't worry. It's going to be in your library on photosurge.com. You're going to grab it. It's going to be there. I'm going to try to upsell you something, which is called Confession of a Fine Photographer. It's an amazing deal. Get it if you can. Even if you got this offer, you can get it. Also, I forgot to mention, everybody who bought this, you have the opportunity to add the Cityscape Masterclass, which is a course that came out months ago. It's a great addition to the 02 Pro. It's a great course. My latest course on CDs, which you can add to your cart. I forgot to mention that. Also, I have 2 seats left for my workshops in Paris. I had 53 seats to sell. 51 got sold out at $6,500. That includes it includes a 4-star hotel on the Seine River. It includes incredible nice dinners. It includes the bus to go to the Mont Saint-Michel. It includes shooting at the Mont Saint-Michel, having great dinner there. It's a whole trip for a week. I'll be with you. There's 2 more seats. You can go to photosurge.com. It's going to be sold out by this weekend. Just in case somebody wants to be with me in Paris, it's only for the first from the week. Everything is sold out. It's just the week of May. Anyways, I'm going to take in 5 more people for a lifetime access to my coaching. 5 more people, and that's it. And then this is going to be finished.
Fantastic. I had a quick question here. Somebody asked from Waltz, I believe. I'm thinking about upgrading my 5-year-old iMac to run Lightroom without circles. Is the 24-inch iMac work with Lightroom Classic?
Yeah, the latest, absolutely. The latest iMac with the new chip, the Silicon from Apple, amazing. It works. Lightroom works like butter. This new iMacs are amazing. Right now, I'm using the MacBook Pro with the iMacs Ultra, whatever it's called. It's amazing. It's so smooth. Lightroom got optimized for all the Mac Silicon. So if you get the latest iMac, you're gonna be in for a treat. It's very, very smooth.
Yep, and
just get as much RAM as you can. If you can get the 32 or 64 RAM, it's a little more expensive, but because the RAM is included in the processor and cannot be upgraded later, I think it's worth getting the most RAM possible. Everything else can be upgraded. You can add SSDs, you can add more drive space, but go for the biggest RAM you can afford.
Yeah, and if you are still on the fence, we've got just a couple spots left. I think we got 2 spots left. We're going to be wrapping up here in just a second. And also, again, I put the link for the free 5 Steps to Natural Drama in the chat. So all you got to do is click on that. But we're going to be wrapping up in here in just a second. I just want to congratulate everybody who has moved forward today. All you got to do, if you're still on the fence, but you're ready and you want that lifetime access to the coaching and mentorship with Serge, all you got to do is click on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen and get started right now.
Okay, I just going to answer a couple of questions, and by then we should have the 2 more and then that's going to be it. We're going to close this, so get it before it gets closed. I can't travel right now. Is it still worth it? Absolutely, because you're getting this offer now. I mean, I don't know anybody on this planet who for $297 is going to give you a lifetime access to coaching. I'm the only one doing it. I might be stupid, but I love coaching you guys. So you will be able to travel one day. I'll be there. Because you bought this, you will have access. So it's totally worth it. But only 2 spots left, guys. Get it. Oh, that's the only one. I only have the base camera. So I want to make a presentation really quick on that because I want to wrap this up really fast. So it's going to go fast. I only have a base camera. This is a photo that I shot with a Canon EOS 350D, the cheapest camera you could buy 15 years ago at Best Buy. And this is still up to today the photo that I sold for the most amount of money, which was $4,400. This is a photo that I took with a Canon 5D Mark II 12 years ago. I sold it last year to an agency in Paris for 4,000 euros. And I did a video where I compared my GFX 100S, and I went to Best Buy to buy the cheapest camera you can buy. And then I went at Clearwater Beach and I took some photos with the 8,000 camera and with the 500 camera. And I posted on social media. Nobody could tell the difference. So why am I buying an $8,000 camera? I'll tell you why. Because it's well made. It's more, it's more built. It's going to last me longer, and it's giving me more resolution. And I work with 150 galleries around the world, and I need the best resolution the money can buy. Anyway, another question I got is, I'm doing underwater photography. Can this still help me? Yes, it can help you. It can help you. I've actually coached a lot of people doing underwater photography. I love underwater photography. I'm going to get more into underwater photography. So 100%. Okay, guys, $297 today. You get the lifetime access to the coaching, and you get all my latest courses. Even if you have the 02 Pro, even if you're in the Institute, it's totally worth getting these courses. They're great complementary, and especially the latest presets. All right. I'm just going to take one more question, and that's going to be it. I think we...
James wants to know, what is the difference in Lightroom and Lightroom Classic, which is needed to use your training?
I do both. In fact, I show you both. I have a preference for Lightroom Classic for a very simple reason, is that I know where my photos are. The way Lightroom works is that you put in your photo and you don't even know really where they are. They're like somewhere up in the cloud. And, it can fill up pretty fast, and it can get very costly because their model is to get you to pay for cloud storage. And because that's the only way you can do so. Lightroom is good for people who's not taking a lot of photos and are mostly on their phone. But if you're a serious photographer, use Lightroom Classic because you know where your photos are. You're not limited by the cloud storage that you have to pay. But everything else is the same. Like the sliders are the same. The preset works the same. The only difference, I spotted a difference the other day. Oh, yeah, that's very technical. But on the sharpening of Lightroom, there is no masking option, which you have on Lightroom Classic. That is the only difference I could figure out. There's probably a few more. Like plugins don't work well with Lightroom. Like you can't go from Lightroom to Luminar and back, which I do a lot with Lightroom Classic. So in short, do not use Lightroom. Use Lightroom Classic. Lightroom Classic is for the big boys. Lightroom is for not the big boys. That's my viewpoint. I hope I did not hurt anybody by saying that.
Just
anyway,
real quick,
guys.
Yeah, we are wrapping up, but I wanted to say quickly, anybody who is here right now, you're going to get an email here shortly for the free book. Gordon just said my free book is in my library. All you guys got to do is log in. You're going to get an email for that. So don't worry. Everyone here is getting the free book. Congratulations to Jeff Urban. I got the $297 offer, almost missed it. Welcome, everyone. And we're going to be wrapping up right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to, if you have one more question, I'm going to take one more question. You still have 1 minute to get the offer. I think we have one spot left, and that's it. And then we're 1 minute. This is going away forever.
Fantastic.
So is there? I don't see the question. I'm out of questions myself. I answered all the questions I got. Do you have any questions on your hand?
I think that's it. Oh, one question was, are you selling the new presets separately?
I will be selling it separately. Yes.
But not now. Not yet, right?
Not yet. No. Not
Okay.
yet. Right now.
In the future.
I wanted to make this offer. I wanted everybody to come on the coaching. I love coaching people. This is what I love. And I actually might add new sessions to make sure everybody gets covered. I love it. I love it so much. And it's like, just to tell you a story, and people who's been on my coaching like Wednesday can testify. So last Wednesday, so 2 days ago, I was in Tuscany. I got this incredible shot that I showed you at the first, one of the best photography. I came back at 11 p.m. and I was supposed to do the coaching at 9 p.m. So I told everybody I'm going to be 2 hours late. I ended up, there was some work on the road. I arrived at midnight. I stayed from midnight to 1 in the morning doing the coaching for everybody in the US. And I didn't go to bed until every photo was retouched. And some people like Ricardo stayed up with me up to 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Anyways, guys, the deal is over. It's done. Thank you so much for coming. We have exceeded the quota that I hoped for. And I hope to see you next one on the coaching. Thank you, Mike, for your help. And guys, have a great rest of your day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Serge. And we really appreciate, on behalf of myself and everybody who's been on this call today, you sharing your expertise and your passion with us. It's truly amazing what you've created and what the students are saying about the results they're getting after taking this training. So the pleasure was ours, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.